Hi everyone! This technical video is a little different from what I usually do, and it's only intended for people who order trees online and receive pruned trees at home. And the purpose of this video is to give you 2 or 3 little tips so you can quickly restore your tree to a proper shape. And quite a few of us nurserymen face this problem. We recently began selling trees online, shipping them with various carriers, and are now experiencing a problem that's apparently common among online tree nurserymen. The maximum size for packages with our carriers is this, while the size of our trees is this. So we have to trim them a bit to make them fit. You'll get trees at home about this size. And now I'll show you how they might react after this trimming and what you can do to give them the shape you want before you leave, what techniques are related to this type of trimming in particular. I've already made basic pruning videos explaining how a tree works and why you should or shouldn't prune it. If this video isn't clear, watch those videos first. Since the way you prune a branch affects its future growth direction, it's important to prune correctly. Just a little thing to know, and this is a very general tip, if you want to prune a branch to remove it completely, you really need to cut it at the base. Don't leave a stub, as any small bud will grow in all directions, but don't cut too short either. If you cut into the healing collar, which forms the scar, it won't heal properly. You must cut the branch to the end, but not beyond. Alright, now let's get started with the technique. Come on, we'll start with the longest and most complicated part. Imagine wanting a shape with just one trunk and higher main branches than you have now. When we have branches like this, we leave parts so buds can grow and new branches can form elsewhere. So the first year, what might happen here? So you have your roots here, the trunk that starts and was cut here the first year. You might have branches growing from different places. And so if in the long run you really want to get a tall straight trunk again in the spring, as soon as it starts growing, you look at the top of the plant at the branches that are coming out. The straightest, most vertical tree often tries to form a tall central axis, especially as it starts growing in spring. Look for the straightest, strongest, most vertical branch in every direction and remove the rest, especially at the top where the tree grows straight and strong. You don't need to remove all branches, just focus on the top. There, you keep only one, and then for the rest of the season, you let it grow without doing anything. And the following winter, well then, you will only keep the one that is vertical. You will cut all remaining pieces and branches from the bottom. You'll have this central axis reproduced and nothing else. From there, let it grow as you wish. So it will take you about a year to get this axis back, knowing that the axis will start from here. There will still be quite a few things that are a bit crooked at this level. Don't worry, normally after 2-3 years, 4-5 years, you shouldn't see anything at all anymore. The bark will cover everything up afterwards. It's true that at first there will be things that aren't necessarily very neat in that spot, but well, it's unavoidable. If you order cut trees online, another option is to pick them up at the nursery so they don't need to be cut. That's something else. There you go. I was just saying that's really the longest and most complicated thing. Where it's going to be the simplest is, let's imagine you want a traditional shape like a goblet or with a trunk called a low stem and with main branches starting at about this height. We did the proper pruning that should have been done. In the first year, don't do anything. Just plant the tree as it is. The next winter, there too, you'll have plenty of branches growing in all directions, and you'll end up with the same shape as before. You let it grow all year, and at the end of the first year, you'll select from all those branches the main ones that you like the most. Usually you keep only 3 or 4 main branches, remove the others, and the tree's structure will develop from those main branches. This is called goblet pruning, where main branches spread outward with a hollow center. This shape is becoming less common today, because keeping a big light well in the middle with the heat and the stronger sunlight we have now lets too much light into the center. So we prefer to keep a more natural shape. I'll try to draw it for you. A natural shape with the central axis, 3 main branches growing around, and always this central axis with possibly other main branches at the top. That's what will give you the most natural shapes possible. And when we say more natural, it also means easier to manage by pruning. That's where there's not much to do if you make a goblet shape with a big empty space in the center. Trees often regrow the central axis, so you need to prune it regularly. It's not always easy. I was discussing low-stemmed trees, meaning the length left on trees, unlike high-stemmed ones. Well, we're back to the previous point with the central axis that first needs to be reproduced, and then once that central axis is reproduced, let the main branches grow to your desired height, then prune just above that point. That way it will encourage new branches to start, and that's how it's done. I hope this is clear enough and that it will help you correct this pruning. We're a bit sorry to have to do it, but given the conditions imposed by the transporters, we don't really have much choice. Ask questions in the comments if it's not clear enough, and I'll see if I can guide you a bit more. All right, thank you all. See you soon. Bye.